Well, Sam, thanks for talking to us. And has the euphoria started to die down a little bit?
Yeah, obviously it was an amazingly special week. Obviously having the opportunity to play in a Lord's final is something that you very rarely get as a cricketer, so it was an amazingly special opportunity, and to come out the right side of the result was even better. We've had a brilliant week. It was an extremely tough game. Somerset, credit to them, pushed us right the way to the end, but I think we showed sort of our fighting character sort of summed up perfectly in that final day, and to come out sort of with the trophy is really special, and it's something that we'll all remember for a long time.
Just analysing that game, it's always, I guess, far more enjoyable when your own personal contribution has helped towards getting the team over the line, and you got the 5 for 76 in that first innings. Truly a memorable performance that was, wasn't it? Particularly to achieve it at the home of cricket.
Yeah, I think that's for me something that I've dreamed of doing for a long time. Taking 5 for Lords it really is something sort of you dream as a kid growing up, going to watch Test matches at Lords, going to watch sort of Essex play at Lords. It's something that I've always dreamed of doing, and to fulfil that in a final was, I'd be lying if I said I didn't find it extremely special, but even more important, to contribute to a win, I think makes it worthwhile. I think I've played in games where I've got 5 wickets and we've come out the wrong side of the result, and it definitely doesn't even remotely feel as sweet. So to win the trophy as well made it certainly feel worthwhile, and it's something that I'll cherish for a while.
It was a bit of an insight into the dressing room. Okay, job done. We've bowled Somerset out, but at Lords in September, 301's quite a stiff total to chase, and I guess the first criterion was to get that first innings lead, which ultimately proved so defining anyway, didn't it?
Yeah, I think, like you say, 301 sounds like a good score in September. I think it's a very good cricket pitch that we played on there at Lords. It was value for shots if you got stuck in, and if you missed your line slightly as a bowler, you felt like you could get punished. But also you felt as a bowler, if you put the ball in the right area, that there was enough assistance to keep you interested. I think we've probably around the country been used to playing on pitches where not particularly high scoring. Maybe that's to do with the times of the year we're playing in April and September. Normally we've played cricket sort of in the height of summer this year, so the scores have been generally a bit higher. But I think in terms of our game plan, nothing changed. We tried to tick our partnerships off and not look too far ahead, and then the first sort of goal was to get past their score, and then once that was to build a lead as much as we could. And I think whatever it was 37 we got in front was a valuable lead, and it kept us sort of ahead of the game at that stage. And we knew once that we had that first innings lead, obviously we were in command of the game, and obviously losing a few wickets on that last day, probably would have liked to have tried to have chased it down, but because we played well in the first innings, it allowed us the ability to shut up shop and play for the draw. So I think it was a massive credit to obviously Cookie and all the batters throughout, that everyone, not just in that game, throughout the season has chipped in and made big contributions when it's mattered. So I think it was testament to the character of the batting lineup that we managed to get a lead.
It was a good declaration by Tom Abel, wasn't it? I mean, he had to go for broke, but it was tantalising because you think, that's not out of our reach. Possibly, perhaps the one decision that changed our mindset was that saw Alistair Cook removed. We won't dwell on that, but at that stage I think it was down to 98 for 4, and Somerset were perhaps gradually about to retrieve the initiative at that stage, weren't they?
Yeah, I think, but it also goes back to our plan of trying to chase the score. Nothing changed from our mindset. We planned to tick our partnerships off, take it over by over, session by session, and you then reassess. You don't in a chase necessarily look at the end goal of 220 or whatever it was we were chasing. You don't look at that end goal from ball one, otherwise it's too much of an ask. You've got to break it down into sessions, and I think that's what our batters did. We obviously realised after losing sort of that cluster of wickets that probably with the run rate going up, that going for the win probably wasn't the smartest option, and it's about playing smart cricket and adapting to the situation, which it's lucky the experience we've got in the dressing room and in the batting lineup that we quickly sort of managed to identify that and then shift our game plan accordingly.
Yeah, I know you like your batting, but I guess you didn't particularly want to put it on the line that last session, did you? Adam Wheater particularly, Paul Walter and Ryan Tender-Scarper had done such a magnificent job, but at the end it was Harvey that faced the last few balls. Were you nervous in that dressing room, waiting on I could be out there?
I think that's the worst thing. You just want to, you want rather be out there. The having to wait to bat, it's probably the worst feeling in the world. The sort of anxious. There's nothing you can do about it. I think me and Billy, the physio, we were sort of pacing around the room at Lord's, chatting about everything you could imagine other than cricket, trying to take our mind off batting, because it is just a horrible situation to be in, no matter what chase, and especially in a final, you can't help but feel a bit sort of anxious when a wicket goes in the dressing room. And then once you're out there, you feel absolutely fine. And everyone says that the best place to be out there is out there batting. Whether that's, if you can't influence the game, it obviously it feels that much worse. But yeah, it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I think we're always confident in the batters, and especially, like you say, the Paulie, Tendo, Wheats and Harmy at the end to get us across the line.
Yeah. Well, it was a brief tournament, just the 6 matches in the Bob Willis Trophy, but it always seems to be that whatever the competition, whatever the rules, Essex are going to be there or thereabouts, and certainly we're entitled to be, aren't there? Any particular memories of? You got 17 wickets in the competition, which is good. Bowling with Jamie Porter, you and Ports did so much in the early stages of innings when we were playing the opposition to get them on the back foot. But any games or any particular wickets that give you a lot of satisfaction, Sam, when you look back?
I think particular games, I think probably the highlight of my year would have been probably my birthday, beating Kent and managed to get a few runs with the bat. I think everyone will say that will last longer in my memory than the wickets, because how much I enjoy my batting. But no, I think as a tournament, I think it's been testament to the game as a whole, how impressive it has to be to get the tournament on, and I think we were just grateful to be out there playing cricket. So to, like you say, picking up wickets along the way, it's always special, and it's always great to take wickets, and that's my job, and that's what I love doing. But I think it was more just as a whole nice to just get out there and play cricket again, because there's times this year when you certainly felt like we probably weren't going to get a chance to get out there. So I think it was just a good competition as a whole, and it was just nice to be out there playing cricket.
Yeah. Bit surreal though, wasn't it? Nobody in the crowd to support or anything, but we got terrific support on social media. You were aware of that, I guess, as players and as a team? Yeah,
massively. I think certainly sort of friends and family come down a lot to watch, and they're all following on social media, and you do look, and it is nice when people tweet and post on Instagram and stuff, and show their support from home. I think slightly different having just Stewie Kerrison down at fine leg rather than the normal supporters down there egging you on. But yeah, it was nice when you came off after a day's play, and if a couple of people have sent you a message or what, it was definitely showed that the supporters were following. I think the sort of the new live streams and the new sort of social media experiences that the club have put on, and other clubs around the country have put on, I think have really helped that.